Hello, I'm Helen Bradley. Welcome to this video tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can create a split tone effect in Lightroom. Before we get started with this video tutorial, let's see what it is that we're seeking to achieve. This is a split tone black and white image in Lightroom, and split toning allows us to apply one color to the highlights. Here it's a sort of greeny blue, and another color to the shadows. Here it's a purple, and we get an interesting two-color effect on a black and white image. It's an effect that you can also apply to color images, but it probably looks best on a black and white. So we're going to see how to create this effect with this image. Here we're working with a virtual copy of the image that we were working on previously. Now, before you turn this image into a split tone image, you could adjust it, but I'm kind of liking the underexposed look of this image, so I'm going to leave it as it is for now. But what I am going to do is convert it to black and white. So here I can click on the B and W icon, or I could just press the letter V. Now at this point you can actually make some changes to the image. So for example, we could take the blue areas and make them a bit lighter, or we could take other areas in the image and make them a little darker by just dragging on these color sliders. And so the orange areas of the image will be made darker or lighter according to which way we drag these sliders. And what I want is contrast. So I want some light areas and some dark areas, because what we're going to do is put one color in the light areas and another color in the dark areas. So once you've tweaked your black and white, let's have a look at this split toning panel, because this is where the work gets done. We have highlights here and shadows and a balance point. Highlights is allowing us to select the color and saturation that's going to be applied to the highlight or the lightest areas of the image. In the shadows area, we pick a color and a saturation for the darker areas of the image. And the balance point is an adjustment between the two, so we can push more towards the highlights or more towards the shadows as we like. So let's go and choose a highlight color. Now if I just drag this slider across, you'll see that we're choosing a highlight color, but we have absolutely no idea what color that is. Well, if I hold the Alt key as I drag, I can actually see the color that I'm selecting. And I want a sort of green color, so I'm aiming for something around about this point, a sort of green, slightly blue color. When I let go everything, I have that color set. Now let's go and pick a color for the shadows, and what I'm going to choose here is a sort of purple color. So I'm looking for something around about this sort of purple, and I'll let go the Alt key, let go the mouse button, and so I've got my two colors set. Now let's increase the saturation so we can start seeing that blue color, this sort of greeny blue color, being applied to the highlight areas of the image. And then we can do the same for the saturation and the shadows. Now we're bringing the purple color into the image. And you can see that we're getting this split tone, this sort of two color effect. One color on the highlights, another color on the shadows. And then we can adjust the balance between them. If we drag all the way to the left, we're saying that everything in this image is to be considered a shadow. So it's all getting this purple color. If we drag to the right, we're saying consider everything to be a highlight, so make it all that greeny blue. But somewhere in the middle here is a balance point between light and dark that's giving us the split tone effect that we want. Now I chose a very simple image for this effect, and I chose two very opposite colors. You'll find that you'll get quite a contrast and quite a good looking split tone, a very obvious looking split tone effect if you choose images that have lights and darks and some real preponderance of both, and if you use colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel. So using two colors that are side by side, you won't get quite the effect, but if you use two colors that are opposite each other, you're going to get a very strong effect. You can also use the same color for highlights and shadows, and that's going to give you a more monochromatic look to your image. but there's a lot of things that you can do in the split toning panel. The split tone effect works best on a black and white image, but there's no reason why you can't do it on a color image. This image is back in color and we've got the split tone effect applied to it. This is the split tone effect turned off. This is the split tone effect turned on. So you can use it to colorize a already color image, but for my preference, I think I like it best on a black and white image. So there's how to create a split tone effect in Lightroom. I'm Helen Bradley. Thank you for joining me for this video tutorial. Look out for more video tutorials here on my YouTube channel, and consider subscribing to my channel and you'll be alerted when new videos are released. And visit my website at projectwoman.com, where you'll find more tips, tricks and tutorials on a range of applications including Photoshop, Lightroom, Illustrator and a whole lot more.